My name is Erica Nichole Mason. I am the host of At the Purple Mic. I'm joined tonight by my friend Benjamin Moore. Ben, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm amazing tonight. I'm looking forward to intimate discussion. I know this is a little different. I think episode 5, it was Leo, Jalan, and myself. And
Yeah.
tonight, just having a one-on-one male and female. This is going to be a good discussion. So I'm excited. This evening, we're talking about what men want and how men want to be treated, the etiquette and arrangement of a woman, her femininity, and how we approach a man. Nowadays, we don't hear the word gentleman anymore. A lot of times we hear chivalry is dead, but is it really? And on the flip side, we're asking, what do women want and how do you treat a woman? If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube. I've been told by our chef Jamal, our panelist, to remind everyone to please subscribe. I'm so bad at that. Like the page. And also, you can follow us at the Purple Mic on Instagram.
Oh Lord. I want a lot, to be honest with you. I want a lot, but not a lot. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the things that I want aren't very much, but I don't know, maybe it is, like I've said before in previous discussions, my view about life in terms of like, us as, in terms of it, like existential, from an existential perspective and just life in general, I look at things in like these 4 elements. So as human beings, we are spiritual beings, we're mental beings, we're emotional beings, and we're physical beings, right? And so what I want is for my woman and myself to nourish each other in those 4 areas: spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Um, at different times, you might need more or less of one or the other.
What would you say is the rule for a female in loving a man? Just we talk about submission and how, modern day women, they don't really like the term submit. It's got to be like a 50-50 split. What would you say is like the rule, like the protocol for a woman?
I think in general, as you said, I think it's really based on the individual.
Mm-hmm.
I know people come from a very, typically people come from a religious perspective, and there are guidelines set forth in various mass religions that kind of dictate and give you kind of blueprint for that.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I come from a different perspective, very spiritual, but not necessarily religious.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I look at the kind of in general that, our baseline, the way we approach things as a man, I feel like being the protector is how we should approach it. You know what I'm saying? Like we should approach a relationship as the protector, and the woman should approach the relationship as the nourisher. That's kind of like our baseline, you know, general perspective on how we should approach things. Now from there comes like, who's the provider? I think that generally speaking, yeah, the man should be the provider. If he can if he has the ability to like to be 100% the provider, absolutely you do that. But I also don't want to relinquish the ability for a woman to provide too, because I know a lot of women have a lot of aspirations to do things as well, even if it's a home business or if you want to go out and do your thing in the corporate world, whatever. So I don't want to take away that ability, because even as hunter gatherers, the man was out in the field, hunting the food, but the women were in the field gathering the crops and everything. So we were both providing in our own ways. You know what I'm saying? So I think that both man and woman, both man and male and females can be providers in their own rights. And we live in a society where it's like, okay, you ain't a man if you ain't providing 100%. You get all these memes, and I've watched so many different,
Yeah.
discussions where it's like, okay, the man's supposed to be the provider 100%. Period. The woman's supposed to be at home just taking care of the kids, and I think that can work, and I think that that works for a lot of people. And a lot of people approach relationships from that perspective, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I definitely don't think that's the only way either. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of women that are brilliant and ambitious and want to use their brilliance to in a commercial capacity, and that's wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Even again, like if it's a home-based business, if you have some arts and crafts type, if you can make clothes, or you can bake, or make you meal prep or whatever, so if that's what she wants to do, then I absolutely will support that. You know what I'm saying? Because I have an entrepreneur spirit myself, and I want to support if my woman has that same type of spirit. But generally speaking, like I said, the man is the protector, the woman is the nourisher. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to somebody run up in the house, I'm taking care of that. You know what I'm saying? That's look, they come out the house. You know what I'm saying? And dually, in conjunction with that, when I need that love and that nourishment, the children need the love and nourishment, we do that. Now, that's not to say that a woman can't also protect and a man can also nourish, right. But it's kind of like the yin and the yang. I don't know if you ever seen like the yin and the yang symbol. It's the white part on one side is large, but it has a little small dot of black, right?
Yeah.
And vice versa. And so I think that our men should skew towards protection, and women should skew towards nourishment, but we should also have the ability to do a little bit of both as well, because I want my woman to be able to, if I'm not there, she need to be able to handle herself. I'm gonna teach her the martial arts that I know, teach her how to handle weapons, because if I'm not around, she need to be able to protect herself and the children. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. If she's not there, I need to be able to take, if the babies need to be nourished, I need to be able to feed the children if necessary. You know what I'm saying? And love on them and tell them, give them all the love and nourishment they need. But in the grand scheme of things, like I said, my first priority is protect, and her first priority should be to nourish. And that's my perspective.
I love that. I like the way you talk about children, because every man, doesn't want kids, and the fact that you talk about a legacy in children, that's very important to a woman, because as a woman, we're meant to be wives and mothers.
Absolutely.
And so, that is the first thing that you think about. Well, I can't speak for all women. I want security. And I want someone who's God-fearing. And I feel like those two go hand in hand. The fear of God and understanding your role as a man, that's important to me. I don't feel like anyone can lead a family without, actually following what, again, I call the umbrella method. First God, Jesus, husband, wife, then the kids. Right. So many times where that gets misconstrued, and the kids are quarreling, and trying to get in the way and all of this and that, and it's so easy to follow that foundation. I want a man who's God-fearing first and foremost. If I have a quarrel with my husband, with my spouse, with my mate, I want to have a place to go to where he and I can find our agreement. And that's important to me. I don't know that this world even believes in that structure anymore.
So let me ask you this. I know you mentioned the word security. So in your definition of security, what does that look like? Like, how are you defining security in what areas of your life?
Yeah. I like the way you talked about the strength earlier, and how you as a man would take care of the home if you heard, for instance, a burglar, or if you had to leave as a lion, a man, and go out to defend the family, whatever that means by, working and coming back home. You've trained your wife how to defend and take your place in the event that you are not there. It's not like you left and your assistant doesn't know how to do the job. Right. But when my husband, my spouse, my man is home, in place, in position, it's my role to submit to him and give him all authority and power, to take care of his kingdom. And that is what I mean by security. I think that is sexy. I think that it definitely turns me on in terms of wanting to submit, because when I can feel like I am in my position, in my role, and we're not playing this whole gender roles thing, my God, I can play my role, and I can play it well. And not trying to follow the application process, but it just turns me on to submit. It turns me on to submit. It turns me on to look to my left and say, can we do this? you know.
Brother's gonna be like, oh, in your DMs now, but submit. She said submit.
It just does, because I don't know, like, I don't know why women want to be empowered, but for me, I don't want to be empowered. I'm not built to be empowered.
It's interesting. I think a lot of it, unfortunately, because of as our community in particular, we've had certain experiences where we've been socially engineered to where traditional gender roles have been kind of flipped in a lot of respects with regards to our status in society, and everything like that. And we talked about that plenty of times about, the fact that, and I think these statistics still should hold up from what I understand, that, Black women out earn Black men, Black women, out educate Black men, and that's we're the only race of people where that's true. And, things of that nature. And just, again, slavery and all these other things that have happened have really turned everything upside down. And so Black women have had to be a lot stronger than they should have had to be. And no fault to our we've had to deal with a lot of stuff that we've had to deal with. Y'all had to deal with a lot of stuff that y'all had to deal with. And so we've had those type of experiences, and it's really sad. But I am glad that we're kind of ushering back into a space where, things are kind of being flipping back to where at least I feel like it should be. You know what I mean? I know people think differently, and it's gender, different perspectives on gender and gender fluidity and things of that nature. So that's a whole nother can of worms we want to get into. But again, I do think that, I do understand. I think it's, again, to your point, I think it's sexy for a woman to want to, be in a certain lane. You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny because Chris Rock said this because he was talking about, this was a joke I think he was talking about in one of his comedy specials, where he mentioned, like, why sometimes Black men choose to go outside their race. And he said that because, a non-Black woman wants to be in her lane, and a Black woman will be in your lane. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how he put it and how he phrased it. I don't particularly subscribe to that all the time. I think that there are women like yourself that, feel like there should be some sort of hierarchical structure and they're fine with the man being in that, that authoritative or in the hierarchy being, in a certain position of hierarchy. And again, that's not to diminish the woman's role, because if I'm being perfectly honest, as the protector, I'm protecting the most valuable thing, which is the woman and our children, our offspring, you know what I'm saying? And so with all that being said, again, I think that a woman wanting to be in a position where it's feeling comfortable enough to be okay with being submissive, the S word nowadays, right? And so I think that's okay, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of power in that, because I'm gonna tell you something. A woman that is loving and nourishing and submissive, she will get anything she wants from her man. Let me tell you something. Anything she wants, if she loving and she doing him right, he gonna be out in them streets doing whatever needs to be done to make his woman happy. You know what I'm saying? To please her, because if she's pleasing him and he's pleasing her, I mean, that's the formula. That's the blueprint right there. You know what I'm saying? For me, spiritual nourishment, like, I'm all about, I'm big on prayer, you know what I'm saying? I'm big on just, and even more so, even prayer is very vital, important, everything, but just as much, and probably even more so than that, just emitting an energy of spiritual understanding, you know what I'm saying? And wanting to garner spiritual understanding, you know what I'm saying? You want to, put in the universe. I think people talk about energy and stuff like that. Put out in the universe good vibes and good energy in the spiritual realm and the ethereal realm for your man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I want my woman to be doing. You know what I'm saying? I think, well, I feel like women should be doing. Not to say that they're not, but just in general. If you just wake up every day with the mindset that I want my man to be successful today, and just putting that energy out there in thought, in action, and everything. I'm all about that your life should be your ministry. The way you carry yourself, the way you live every day, that should be your ministry. Even more so than like people go and read the Bible every day or the Quran every day and everything like that. And every day they out here walking wicked. You know what I'm saying? Your walk should be your ministry. You know what I'm saying? You should walk righteously. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I feel like my woman should be walking righteously, you know what I'm saying? And putting out good energy for me. And like every day, like in her thoughts, like, okay, in her spirit, like my man, I want my man to be protected today. You know what I'm saying? God, God, whoever, however you name God, protect my man today. You know what I'm saying? Make my man be successful today. You know what I'm saying? Putting out that good energy. And so that for me is like in that spiritual realm and in the spiritual sense of nourishment, that's what I feel like, and then also added to that is whatever kind of rituals we want to do, whether we want to do meditation together or yoga together, or we read the Bible together, if that's what we're into, or the Quran or whatever, whatever's, wisdom text that, because I feel like I can get wisdom from pretty much anywhere, and so with that being said, whether it's a text or, whether we don't do crystals or something, I don't know, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, that we are doing it together. We're doing it as one accord. Whether we want to, look at the, Yoruba text or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. It's just that we're doing it together, and we come to it with the understanding that we're trying to nourish each other and nourish ourselves spiritually. And if I'm being honest, like I've, after losing my daughter in 15, it was really tough for me. I was really mad at God for a while about that. You know what I'm saying? It's still hard. And I know that, in my marriage, that was a thing that I had to really work through. And my former wife, she was really good about, praying for me and stuff like that. But, it was hard for me for a while. And so I know now approaching my next relationship, that's something that's very important for me. Something I have to have a lens for, okay, well, I know I've had these issues in the past. And now I'm stronger now, and I want to convey to my woman, my hopefully my forever woman, that listen, sometimes I might be a little off spiritually, and that's when I need you to like just pour into me sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they talk about the man supposed to be the priest of the house and protecting and stuff like that, and I get that, and you're supposed to be the spiritual head. Absolutely, I get all that, but sometimes you got to pray for the preacher too. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I'm a preacher, but even the head needs to be prayed for, needs to be nourished and stuff like that. And dealing with the tragedy that I dealt with, it was, I mean, and you knew Leilani. Matter of fact, you was Leilani's kind of second mother, because it was really tough for me. So for me personally, the spiritual part is really important, because sometimes I may be wavering spiritually, and I need my woman to just pour into me in the spiritual realm, whether I know or not, she's praying for me, because whether I know it or not, if you put it out in the universe gonna respond. You know what I'm saying? And then also tell me, look, baby, I pray for you today. You know what I'm saying? I know you're dealing with this, let me know too. Like, I pray for you today. You're going to be all right. Kiss me, boom, boom, boom. We go and, show that other love stuff, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But that spiritual part is really important.
Yes. Sigh. Because I think that's the part of what's lost today is commitment, structure, and communication, and all of which you just described, and understanding you are that man's rib. I like this word etiquette that we chose tonight.
Right.
We don't see that classic etiquette like we used to.
Well, a couple of things. Like, first of all, the strongest relationships I've had have been because we had strong friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like, to your point, I want my woman to be my best friend, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, without question, I want, for at the end of the day, who do I want to tell this to? Who do I want to tell about my day? My woman, period. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. You know what I mean? I think that that's vitally important. I know that there are some relationships where people say, that my spouse is not my best friend, and I think that works for people, but for me, I need for my woman to be my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need for her to be able to, like, if we we can talk through stuff. If it go down, we got to scrap it out with somebody. She need to be right there, ride or die too. You know what I'm saying? She need to be my Bonnie too. So, the Bonnie to my Clyde. You know what I'm saying? Right. The next thing you talked about is etiquette, and that. The chivalry is dead. Like, when we talk about that, right? And it's a big debate about why chivalry is like it is. it really, for me, I really started noticing a shift in a sense when the term thirst came out. You know what I'm saying? When the thirsty concept of thirstiness came out,
Okay.
that's when I started to see a kind of a shift, because before that, I noticed that dudes would be more like, kind of, um, chivalrous in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And be more assertive, not necessarily aggressive, but more direct. Like I'm a go after that. But then it's like, after a while, oh, he thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Or
like,
the
so
simp,
me
or
trying to,
yeah.
yeah, thirsty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm, when a dude kind of approach a woman, it's like, oh, he thirsty. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, I'm shooting my shot. So I mean, shooting my shot is thirsty now. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I open the door. You might open the door for a woman, and she kind of, you just want to look at my behind. Like, okay, so I'm not supposed to open the door for you now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Don't you feel like they're killing it for the women who want that?
I'm gonna tell you something. Like, in terms of like etiquette, like on the other end, like, and this is something that um, only a few women I've ever dealt with was really good about this. But I don't know if you ever seen the movie A Bronx Tale.
Uh-uh.
All right, so the dude basically, it's about this young couple, whatever like that, and the uncle told the young man, he was like, a woman is really the one if you open the door for her, and then you walk into the other side, and she opens the door for you on the inside for you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yo, when I tell you, when women have done that for me, and again, only a few haven't done it. So my former wife, she was really good about that. But it's something about that, like that reciprocity. Like, okay, I'm outside, we out in this world. I'm gonna make sure you secure on the outside. I'm gonna get you in the door. But then once I'm on, you're gonna secure the inside for me. And you know what I'm saying? It's some kind of psychology about that.
Right. I
It's a
didn't know it
psychology
was
about that
that
thing.
way.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, that's I'm huge on that. Like, I know if she really down, like, she gonna open the door for you from the inside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, it's a psychology about that that I really dig. And so for me, that's in terms of etiquette, that's a big etiquette thing for me. And I know if a woman comes, if she already come to it with the table, that's like, okay, but after a while, if it's not there, then I will convey, like, this is something that I enjoy, I like, and I'll give the reason why, and the logic behind it, everything like that. And I'm not going to take no mental points from a woman that might not do that. But
Right.
once I tell you, though, you know what I'm saying, you need to be on that, you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's just on the etiquette piece. That's something that for me, that's something important for me. But as a man providing certain sorts of etiquette elements for women, I'm all about, like, I make sure if we walking on the sidewalk, I'll be on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Something pop off, then that means you on the more safe part of the sidewalk, whatever like that. Of course, open the doors, car doors, opening, doors, wherever we're going to open the doors. But there's kind of a twist to that, because for me, sometimes I open the door, but I might, especially if we're approaching an area that we're not familiar with,
Uh-huh.
I might go in first just to make sure, on the protective side, like, okay,
Totally.
make sure this
That makes sense.
cool, everything cool. You know what I'm saying? I open the door and, okay, we're good. I get in there and I make sure everything cool. But if we go into like a restaurant, go into the car, yeah, I open the door and everything like that. But just like, again, from a protective standpoint, I'll do that. I know that I like to make sure that I sit where I can see the door if we're in a restaurant or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that I can, I got the vantage points and things like that. So I do things like that. I'm big on, for me personally, like, I like to find out, I like to do, I'm really kind of romantic on some stuff. Like, I'm kind of like a hopeless romantic. I like doing sweet stuff, like finding out something that she really likes and just surprise and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I know, I've had, former relationships where, it might be some sort of chocolate they like, and I'll provide that, make sure I try to do that, or flowers, things of that nature. I think you should still do those types of things. I know some people have said, you shouldn't do it too much because then it loses its value. And I get it. I think there's some truth to that and some merit to that. But I also think that it's also good to have a consistent kind of ritualistic kind of romantic things that you do as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should provide certain things that I'm gonna ritualistically do these types of sweet things for my woman to let her know that I'm always, thinking about her and stuff like that. So
I think it's like more occasion based. Like, you do it like maybe every other Sunday, or
Yeah, I mean,
special thing on
yeah.
the holidays. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, however you want to, do it. I know for, in past relationships, I would make sure, like, I would try to, like, at least like once a month do, even if it's like getting some chocolates from the store, you know what I'm saying? Like something, I mean, hey baby, I got this, you know what I'm saying? Or, some ice cream. She like this certain kind of ice cream, and I'm at the store, I get the ice cream that she like, and I'm like, in there, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So just things like that, just it don't take a lot. I know a lot of times, and I've heard so many women say this, like, it's just the little things, right? India Ari had a whole song about the little things, you know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of times in our episodes, we always say we want the best friend. And while that's great, I think for me, it's more or less like having someone who is emotionally available for my needs.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, I noticed I had a lot of, friends, and my friends would pour into me in understanding that I am in a relationship, but it's like that's not healthy because it's like I need to talk to these people, and that's a problem. So they're giving me something, they're giving me something, and I'm not benefiting from at home,
Right.
And before I knew it, it was just like constant conversations and let's hang out, and it feels so good, and it's like, damn, now I gotta go home. And although I like, some of the benefits at home, it's just not filling me all the way up,
Right.
I'm at this stage now where it's better for me to wait until that person, is like, hey, I have the full package, because I don't want to shortcut that individual or nor myself and feeling
Absolutely.
like, just because you're fine, you got the good job, and we can rock out, that's enough. I also,
right.
I never was intuitive. I didn't pay attention to the things that I wanted. I know now what I will not tolerate in a relationship. And I still want to be able to have a voice. I know there's a lot of men that's just like, you know what? Sit back, know your position, don't say shit,
Right.
I would respect a man who honors my voice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think as a partner, absolutely.
Yeah.
My emotional self has been one of probably the strongest challenge for me. Just because, I can be I can be impulsive sometimes. I'm working on, I'm challenged by, being impulsive. Like, I've tried not to go from like 0 to 10, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times not a lot of gray with me, you know what I'm saying? I'm either black or white a lot of times. Like I'm either cool, Benjamin, you know what I'm saying? Or,
right.
So I'm that,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to be a little more gray in that particular respect,
right.
but, or even like, especially after my daughter, man, like stuff just like hits my heart hard sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And it just, especially with regards to like relationships, like I love so damn hard, you know what I'm saying? I love hard as hell. And I wear my heart on my sleeves a lot of time. And so, I need a woman to understand that, you know what I'm saying? And just pour, emotional nourishment into me, you know what I'm saying? Like through her words, through her, just through her energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and to understand me in the fact that, like, if I'm to kind of know me, you know what I'm saying? I know that takes time to like, we all have our moves, you know what I'm saying? And I pray for the day where like, I ain't got to say them. My woman already know, like, okay, she will even know like from an event, like, okay, if this happens, if this event happens, I already know how he gonna feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Or I know how his day was. I know, okay, he coming to do it. I know how he's feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? Like to having that kind of emotional in tune to me.
He needs his space. It's
right,
like,
yeah,
give him his time, and
right,
then
yeah,
approach him. And know when to approach him and how.
how, yes, that's the one. The delivery is everything.
Everything.
Delivery is everything.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, because you could be coming from a loving space, but you might not deliver it in a loving way. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that's big. And, like such things like I'm big on, like, and going back to kind of some etiquette things, I am huge on this. When I come home from this world out here for brothers, if young, black, and gifted, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't a lot of love out there a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know things are trying to change, get more progressive world, but in a general sense, it ain't a lot of love. So when I come up out of that world, when I get in that house, you need to be greeting me with some love. I need some sugars. I need a hug. I need a baby, I missed you, or whatever, or how was your day, or, you know, whatever. You might even have to say nothing. Just that hug and that kiss. I better not walk in the house. You just, oh, what the fuck you mean? The fuck is a, you better bring your ass over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be like, you need to bring your ass over here. You know, that's
all running up to you before the wife does.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, sometimes the kids be look at you crazy too, sideways, because they just see the mom look at you sideways. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I come in the door, like, I'm huge on that. Like, when I come home, man, like, I want to be greeted with love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be, you know, I want to be yearned for and desired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Marvin Gaye said, love you. I want you to love me. Well, how's it go? Love you how I want you to love me, or love you like I do. Yeah, love you like I do, or something like that. Anyway, I'm trying to destroying the lyrics. But yeah, long story short, you know, I want that love, you know what I'm saying? And I want for us to for it to be a genuine desire when somebody comes out of this world, especially as a Black man, these days, you know, when we come home, man, our home's supposed to be our sanctuary, supposed to be our peace. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, on another emotional tip, like, I know it's almost cliche now, but for a woman to be your peace, I know that's a whole, like, it's a slew of memes out there about that, and it's so many women out there that's like clowning about that stuff, and all these different videos about being a peace and like purposely not being his peace. You know what I'm saying? But that is so huge. Like, you can be the most beautiful woman, you know, you could be a 10, but I'm gonna tell you something. That man would choose an 8 that's his peace over that 10 that's his toxicity.
Oh,
period.
Absolutely, all day.
And that's a period with a D and a T on that thing. Like, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, the majority of men, what they want, they will say peace first.
Yeah, absolutely,
that's
man.
The number one answer. Peace.
Yeah.
You are not providing peace, and it's a front in the beginning. Oh, she was peaceful. You gotta go. You simply have to go. Because when I'm at home, like you just said, this is my serenity. This is my sanctuary, you know?
Absolutely.
I don't need someone, you know, badgering me, nagging me, and pulling me down. Absolutely.
To your point earlier about submission, and that's where this balance comes in. And I think the term submission a lot of times gets misconstrued to, you know, full control or total control. You say loss of voice, things of that nature. These kind of concepts get, you know, brought into that same equation. I think it's a little different, because for me, submission is more like, all right, after we have had a discussion, you know what I'm saying? Because again, if I'm choosing this woman, and I'm choosing this woman because she has all, again, the full package, all 4 elements, right? Mental, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. I want her to have a sound mind. I want her to be wise. I want her to be an advisor to me. You know what I'm saying? I want her to be, matter of fact, my number one advisor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you my ace. Like, all right, I'm coming to you, baby. What you think about this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I take under advisement what she says. You know what I'm saying? And I want her to come from a knowledgeable and wisdom perspective.
Right.
And so, with that being said, the submission part comes in. Okay, once that's done, and if my decision is this, the decision, and submit to that. Not that I'm not coming to you at all. I'm not saying you have no voice. And if you are wise, if the woman is wise about her stuff and knowledgeable about her stuff, a lot of times a man's going to take, you know, if a wise man is going to take wise advice. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So again, if we're on the same page, and, you know, and I'm trying to mold some things out in my mind, and I come to her and she's like, okay, well, this is what this is my suggestion. This is what I feel should be, you know, X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I'm like, all right, you know, man of wisdom, I'll take your wisdom, and let's go that direction. Or, okay, I understand what you're saying. I respect what you're saying, but this is what I'm gonna do. And then the submission comes in, baby. You know what? You know, you're the man. You know, I totally, you know, submit. Again, bad S word. I submit to what your decision is. You know what I'm saying? That's where the submission comes in. Not that you have no voice. You know, you shut the hell up. And, you know what I'm saying? Like they tell basketball players, shut up and dribble. It ain't telling you, you know, just shut up and look pretty. I want your wisdom, baby. You know what I'm saying? I want that. So to me, that's where the wisdom comes in, and kind of segue into the mental part even more. Like, for me, that's one of the things that's so vitally important to me, because you know me, I'm really cerebral. You know what I'm saying? I love like I love just learning. I'm a forever student. You know, as much as I educate, I love to learn. Like it's probably one of my favorite things. Love, you know, learning and imagination. Like I love to imagine and create and those types of things. And I want a woman in a mental space the same way. I want her to be creative. I want her to be intelligent. You know, want to learn. You know, want to be wise. You know what I'm saying? A woman that's humorous. I love, you know me. I like to clown around. You know, I love humor. I love to laugh. I think a woman that is intelligent. Like the term is septosexual, or you know, septosexual, which is basically means a person that's, you know, sexually attracted to intelligent people of the opposite sex.
Yeah.
And so I just love, it's just something about an intelligent woman, and is she funny too on top of that? Like you said, that to me, that's sexy. Like let me tell you something, I'm being that mug. You know what I'm saying? Making it rain on the butt. You know making it rain. You know what I'm saying? So but yeah, like on some real but no, seriously, on some realness, like I love, like, you know, and then creativity, like, you know, I have a thing about like female poets. I love a female poet, you know what I'm saying? Like or creatives, you know, like actresses, things of that nature, you know. So in the mental space, those are things that I want and need, you know what I'm saying? That mental nourishment, you know what I'm saying? I want to learn from you. I want you to make me laugh too. You know, I want to make you laugh. You know, I would like to have the same level of sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? I have I guess kind of witty or whatever like that, if I'm trying to be humble, or, you know, and still trying to be humble, you know, I guess you could say I'm witty. And, you know, I got a kind of a, you know, nasty sense of humor sometimes and all type of stuff. You know, catch all my little you know.
I think that's what makes Ben Ben. It wouldn't be Ben without the nasty humor. Last week we learned about the yoni. The yoni's not here this week, but we learned about the yoni.
You had to come out the yoni. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to come back home. You had to come back down to earth. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to, to ground myself.
But I love the way that you're saying all of this, because, you know, we live in a society now that's telling us women have to be sexy. They're supposed to, you know, have a great physique. They have to shut up. You know, it's not about your dollar. It's not about what you do for a living. But it's like, where is the relationship? Where is the core? Where's the heart? Where's the love? And that word, love, we don't hear that anymore. You know, we don't hear enough conversations about how to build up a man and how to, you know, build up a woman. And I love this conversation for that matter. I can't tell you how many podcasts I listen to all day. And it's just like there's so many people needing therapy because they're in the wrong situation. They stay and they're enduring all this toxicity.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And it's like, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I love how you're approaching it, you know, from a mental and emotional. You've talked about legacy, you know, just having, you know, children in their position, you know.
Absolutely.
What you would do for a woman, you know, in nurturing her needs, from flowers to chocolates, you know, understanding your position, security, you know, your role as a man, and how you are supposed to go out there and provide for this family, you know. You don't hear men talk like that anymore. And I think on the flip side, that is what, you know, women like myself who are traditional, that is what we want. You know, we want to have a man like that. It elevates us in building up not only the home, but our children, because we are the example. You know?
Absolutely. The woman is the first teacher of the children.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when I'm vetting a guy and he's vetting me, I'm not necessarily, you know, looking for the dollar signs and all of that. But I am looking for that charisma, you know. I'm looking for his heart. And I'm looking for, you know, someone who is agreeable in a sense where, can I talk to you? Can I present things to you without you being combative or making me feel less of a person? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's so important to me today. You can talk about business and everything you got going on. I'm going to listen to you all night long. I'm going to let you just rant. But at the end of the day, you know, he'll be caressing my feet or, you know, returning that love, you know, just, it's a language. And until you have it, you're waiting on it. And it's worth it. It's worth
it. Absolutely.
What
Yeah, I got kind of lost in your example there. I was like, You know what I'm saying? But it's the whole other thing. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, you know, like you said, and I noticed that in conversations with women, and you know that, like you said, that being able to feel like you can convey your thoughts and your feelings and everything, and it's not going to be a combative thing. That's important. I think on both sides, because that's important to me as well. You know what I'm saying? Or I think for men in general, and you know specifically for me, because absolutely, like, you know, not every our love should not be a battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, our love should not be contentious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that the song X Factor, you know what I'm saying? Lauryn Hill, she said it, you know what I'm saying? You know, you know, it feels like a battle. Like, you know, it shouldn't be a fight. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be contentious all the time. Like, it should be a dance. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a fight. It should be a dance. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be both of us going to have our turn and everything like that. And it's going to, you know, it's going to be some back and forth, but it shouldn't be striking back and forth. It should be a fluidity back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're talking about just in terms of energy or word choice, or like, you know, the way our conversation goes, or just everything it should be a fluidity to it that is more like water and not fire. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
And so I know that, you know, passion is usually equated to like a fire, but you know, but still, like, I feel like it should be more like water.
I take the approach with cooking very seriously. And
Yeah.
not too many people know this about me, but I can cook. Y'all know me to do the whole, you know, macronutrients, you know.
Yo, yeah, you be on that. Let me tell you something. You counting all them macros, but yeah, you be counting them macros. Like, I can see, like, you know, they have like all the visual effects. We have all the equations and stuff. I can see you wake up with all the equations and stuff going through the macros and everything.
So when it comes time for
I done seen a couple of times when you them lamb chops we had when we all went out there. Yeah, with Lewis, he was like, but I'm tell you something, but it wasn't damn meat on that bone, so I seen her one time or two.
Yeah, I will tear some food up. There's a big girl inside of me, but I'm telling you, when it comes time for testing, mac and cheese, all that good stuff, man, it's a vibe. It's a serious vibe.
But you be in that gym though, Shada. Like, you religious about that gym, so you gonna make sure you maintain it. Yeah, you gonna be
that waistline. You gotta
yeah. Snatched up. Yeah, got that waist snatched. I hear you.
You know, I just feel like it's a responsibility. You know, and that's the way I like to think of it. Everything is a responsibility. Everything. In order to take care of someone's heart, you have to do all of the things that you just mentioned. It's not like, oh, I just want to be in love with somebody. Oh, I like you too. We're going to be together. No, it's a responsibility.
Absolutely.
You have to enhance that relationship. You have to nourish it. You got to water it. You know, you got to fertilize it, all of this stuff. I definitely feel like, going back to the origin of the purple mic, that is exactly why I did not want to be out here in this life, dating around, vetting multiple people, sleeping with multiple people, Netflix and chilling with a bunch of folks. I wanted to have intimate conversations amongst my peers and really just kind of learn the art of relationships through the minds of intelligent people like yourself, you know, and understanding what men want. And I don't think, you know, after 15 episodes nearly, it's not hard. I think people just make it harder than what it really is. People make it complicated. I feel like in this day and age, there are too many distractions, and I feel like there are too many choices. And what I mean by choices, temporary choices, because we're so fixated on feeding the flesh and the desires that we want, you know, based on visual desires, and we don't want to do the work anymore. Whereas before, you met a woman, you called her up on the phone, you know, you had to go up to her job to see her, or you had to ask her a million times to go on a date. But now you can scroll through her pictures, you can see her on Facebook, you know, you can kind of know where she is, her location and all of that. It's just like, there's no mystery in it anymore, you know? So I go back to a recent statement I made, and it's just like, you know, that guy who really has the core of God in fear, and he wants to manifest, and he makes that clear in his walk steadily. He walks in life as a husband, that's what it's just like a spiritual motivating force for a woman like myself. And I feel like that's the alignment in the journey for me.
That's deep. That's deep. I like what you said. In terms of like that, I guess, like you said, his walk being the evidence that you need, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you said something else that, that kind of struck me, with regards to, like, you know, having so many choices. I didn't even consider that, but you're right. Like you said, back in the day when they used to call it courting, right? You know what I'm saying? When you're courting a woman, you know, it's, you know, part of it's because, like you said, it was a smaller town, and, you know, maybe, or say it could be a small town, whatever, but you just didn't have as much access to seeing so many, like, especially in men, we're so visual. And, you know, that's, you know, not our fault, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, now this digital age, we just inundated, like, my IG be popping. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I have to say, women, we are too. And it works both ways, because I don't think men realize there's a lot of dudes out here too.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of dudes out here.
Yeah, that was it. Look, after this, you talking about a submission, your DMs gonna be popping. And you don't think I already told you. Your DMs gonna be popping. Oh, she's gonna submit to? I fear God. They gonna be Twitter fingers. They gonna be. Oh,
I'm not dealing with you tonight.
And see, that's the thing. Like, it's into our, you know, point about chivalry. Like, as a man, it's kind of hard to know what the line is escape these days. You know what I'm saying? Kind of sometimes it's hard to know what women want. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, let me tell you something. Men in general, 7 out of 10 men, a woman can approach that dude 7 out of 10 men the same way, and it's gonna be successful. A man got to come 10 different ways for 10 different women, man. Y'all are it's so much variety and diversity in what y'all want and need, stuff like that. Like, some women want a good guy, some women want a thug dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard to know. Like, I've had a couple of conversations with some female friends, and they're like, you know, I don't want no nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the guys are too nice these days. It's like, what? Okay. You know, if he's too nice, maybe he gay. Like, you know, what? How is that? You know, it's just so much. Like, you don't know how to approach it. You know what I'm saying? Then if I'm a little hood, then it's like, oh, he not a professional. It's like, it's just hard to approach a lot of times. It's like, you know, do you jump on her DMs or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some women are cool with that, some women are not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you're approaching a woman just cold approaching, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, is it a how you doing, beautiful? You know what I'm saying? Hey, is it, yo, what's up, mom? You know what I'm saying? Some you know, you don't know how. It is funny. One of my favorite YouTubers, he's a dude named Corporate with a K. His thing is he approaches it's this comedic thing. He's like, how you doing, beautiful? You know what I'm saying? The way he said it, like, it's like he put up that big emphasis on that B, beautiful. Right. And so it's like, do you approach women like that now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, how do you do it? So it's, you know,
I feel like, for me, I like to be called Erica. I don't like when people cut my name down to E. Good afternoon, Erica. How are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that type of greeting. I don't want to be called beautiful. I don't want to be called love. Hey, babe. I'm none of that to you. Yeah. So it's like, if you're DMing me, that's fine, because you don't have another point of contact. You know, you don't have my number. Good afternoon, Erica. You know, hope all is well. You know, that immediately gets me going. Like, oh.
Hey, use my name, son?
Normalcy. Like, manners. What is this? Keep going. That's
normal manners.
I'm totally, like, I know a lot of women, the minute you say beautiful, their ego is so woke. You got them. And for me, it's like, I don't need you to stroke my ego. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that I'm like 1,000% secure in myself and I'm this and I'm that, but just call me by my first name, please.
Okay. You know? And that's very interesting, because I've had another discussion with a young lady, and she said, like, okay, so her thing was, it was fine versus beautiful. Like she said, you know, she likes somebody to call her beautiful versus fine, because fine usually is indicative of looking at the form and the body, stuff like that, and beautiful is usually looking at the countenance, their face, right?
Exactly.
So that was one of the things that she said with that. But then, all right, little scenario, let's do a little case study. Then, all right, you out, you know, so you out and about, you looking good, you looking beautiful and fine, all the stuff like that. Dude wants to approach you, you know what I'm saying? What is his first line to get, you know, saying, how would you like to be approached in that particular spec? And not to go too deep into, because I know you don't like to give all your gems, your blueprint stuff, but case study. How does he approach you? What does he say?
I would need him to directly walk up to me. Don't stand across the room. Hey, excuse me. Hi. No, I need you to come over here because you're speaking to me.
Okay.
Excuse me. Because I was doing something. So you pardoned yourself. Excuse me. I couldn't help but maybe notice you from across the room. My name is, may I get your name? I'm Erica. Okay, nice to meet you. I hope I'm not interrupting. I just wanted to come over and say hello to you, and whatever his approach is, that's
okay. Let me make some notes here. I'm gonna implement that strategy out here in these streets one day. I'm like, let me see. I'm gonna call it the Erica method. You know what I'm saying? Gonna implement that in these streets out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yesterday, I was walking out of a store, and this guy literally, he like walked in the store when he saw me get out of my car. So he's following me, and then his partner, his friend, comes in after him. And they're acting like they're buying something, but I could tell that they walked in. As soon as I came in, I leave. He leaves right when I'm leaving. Hey, curls. And I'm like, you're calling me curls? What? Curls? My hair was curly. I just had a fresh little do. I'm like, did you really just call me Hey, curls. I'm like, boy, stop.
Oh my God! Sorry,
I was like,
that's the first. I've heard. Hey, Red, what's up in the Red? You know, so for a light skinned or a fair skinned woman, like, what's up, Red? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You in Atlanta, you might hear, hey, shouty. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear shouty.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're gonna hear all of that. But
this man said curls. I said, you know what?
Yo, that's
yelling across the street. That yelling across the street is not. That is an easy turn off. It's like I'm not even turning around. That's like, who raised you?
Yeah.
What about yourself? Can women shoot their shot?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, I actually kind of like a mildly, not overly aggressive, but a mildly aggressive woman. I kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? My introduction into, male female relationships from a older one, female that was aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that. Not like you trying to like wear the pants, anything like that. But if you think I'm attractive, you might say, hey, how you doing? I know women are a little more like men, we shoot 3-pointers, y'all shoot free throws and layups. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do some more so make yourself available for, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all boom, oh hey, I'm sorry. Oh, that's nice. So y'all start the conversation like okay. Yeah. So
that's called flirting.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like those initial
open the door because it's something about the ego. We open the door to let you know, hey, come in.
I'm available. Yeah, exactly.
And it's just the ego. We gotta know what you want us. It's a cat and mouse thing for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's like you initiate the chase, you know what I'm saying? But you want to be chased, but you initiate it, you know what I'm saying? Which is good. I love a woman that initiates. I'm gonna tell you something, like it is for me personally, and I think most men can, a lot of men that I talk to, especially men that have been in relationships, especially marriages for long term, a woman initiating and showing that she wants a man and desires a man is huge for us. We want to be desired and wanted too. We want to be yearned for. You know what I'm saying? We want to be like, you come home and you know what I'm saying, that thing was already ready for you. You know what I'm saying? That thing was already drip for you. Know what I'm saying? That thing was already, that faucet already on. Huh?
I saw you salivating. You ready?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That faucet already turned up. You know what I mean? So, for me, and I know that's for me especially, like I really love initiation. I want to be seduced. I love a seductive ass woman. When I tell you, I flip back to the emotional part, like, I love kindness. Like, you know what I'm saying? The emotional part, that's probably the top number one things that I really want out of a woman, being kind. And like I said, in the emotional nourishment part, but like really close to that is that seductive part. Like if you kind, like you was sweet to me all day and I come home and you already like, you might be in lingerie or maybe not. Maybe you just in a t-shirt with nothing up under it, or maybe you just, oops, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like just kind of just, throw throw that thing back a little bit so I can see it. Oh, okay. And make sure you know I see it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever, like just little stuff. I love to be touched. Like you might walk by me and just, just it's some gents, like just, hey, just don't even, you ain't gotta look at me. You just walk by and just, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you feel right now. That's how you feeling, huh? Okay. Keep on with that. Keep on with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so especially when I have the head out, you know what I'm saying? You might come and just rub. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I might be sitting there, you just come and just rub my head and just walk by. I don't even say nothing. Just walk by, just touch me and just walk away. And just you might look back at me like, look back at it. Like, okay, yeah, I know you see it. And I'm like, yeah, I do see it. You about to get this thing. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like again, touching and or it might be some words.
It's a language. And especially when the kids are in the room, it's like, I'm going to see you in about an hour. You know what time it is.
I'm about to see you. Exactly. You about to see about there. We about to see about you real quick. You know what I mean?
What would be your answer in terms of how you keep that love, that kind of love alive after a couple of years?
Man. I'm no expert, obviously, because I've actually been married twice and divorced twice. So clearly I'm no expert on it. These are some strategies I think could work in theory, you know what I'm saying, or things I would want to implement. But I think that, it's really, for me, it's just an intentional everyday, okay, it doesn't have to be like a methodical, I'm going to do exactly this or that, but it's like, okay, just every day, like, have I, for me, again, I'm big on words too. I know we talk about touch. I'm big on words too. Like, you might just say, hey, handsome, so I text you, hey, handsome, could you go get, it even could be like some kind of mundane task, could you go get some milk for me today, handsome? Right. Or you might be talking, might be saying something like, yeah, she might say, my sexy husband, this, woo, woo. And it's like, making sure I heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Or,
so you're like to throw those key words in there and then do those little subtle things that kind of enhance.
Right. Yeah. Just, and I think that's just, absolutely. And I think
someone said that they don't call their wife, they reference their name, because saying wife is just so old school traditional, and it kind of puts you into this titles position where it's like you're kind of stuck into some mold.
So, I mean, to each their own. I'm if that's how people roll, I'm fine with the title, or it could be just like my man or whatever, like whatever the title you want to put. I guess for me it's just like just throwing in those words that just uplift a man in those particular ways. You know what I'm saying? Sexy, handsome. You know what I'm saying? My baby, like I love, like I love a not overly like misery, possessive woman, but that's mine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, look, that's mine. You mine, and I'm yours. You know what I'm saying? Like having that kind of understanding.
And I don't know why all men can't be like that. That when I go back to that emotional conversation that we had earlier, when you hear a man say that's mine, and when he actually like acts on that, like he touches you, he caresses you, even the PDA, that is so goddamn important in a relationship, especially nowadays. Because I think women need that reassurance, and he sees all of this and he wants it, and he's making it clear that he wants it, and that is his.
He wants that, and only that. You know what I'm saying?
Only that, and that you just said that's mine, that's all me. And the fact that you love hard, I don't see anything wrong with that. And unfortunately, a lot of men, they feel like they need to cover that up. They can't let a woman see that vulnerability.
Yeah, and that it's a part of ego.
It pushes women away. It really
absolutely.
Does. I know for myself, it pushes me away. When a man acts like he's too strong, or he can't compliment me, first of all, I will put this out there. My love language, I have two, but my first one is words of affirmation. So it's like, if you're not affirming me, then what are we doing? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have 1,000 comments on my pictures, but yet you're not one of them.
I'm telling you, Sada, look. If any woman that's a 5 or above, you know what I'm saying, you could be kind of cute a little bit, and you're gonna have more DMs than a dude that's like an 8 or 9 on the general scale of like attractiveness. You know what I'm saying? Because women just that's dudes gonna be out here, You know what I'm
And
saying?
it's
In these
so
streets.
crazy, Ben, because we don't like, as I can speak for myself, yes, but I think I speak for a majority of women. Okay, so they say that women, we compete against each other when we do all the hair and makeup and stuff like that. That is true. Okay, a lot of women want to feel at their best, like, oh, girl, where'd you get that? Or, oh my gosh, she looks cute. You know, that is our thing. However, when our man is not our first cheerleader and we're getting it everywhere else, it's like putting holes in a cup and just watching the water just like the relationship so fast. So he's trying to make it seem like I need all the validity because either I'm the breadwinner or, you know, I need to feel my masculine nature, you know, just overpouring. I need her to build me up. There's something there that's making him feel like he needs to have everything. His ego. I don't know. I'm not a guy.
That's no, and you're, and it's funny. I was going to make that. Yeah. I was going to make that point earlier that, you know, because you asked like, what is it? And you just hit it. And I was going to say that it's ego. Like, the thing about today is that, you know, vulnerability is so taboo in the manosphere. It is like, you got to be, and the thing is, like, vulnerability in and of itself, like, it's not, I'm not talking about just like, oh, I can't cry for my woman, but to your point, you complimenting your woman when she's looking fine, that's a vulnerable, because you're acknowledging that, and you, in the man's mind, it's like, you know, other dudes just looking at you. I was about to go real hood on you. No, you excited, you know what I'm saying? In these streets, in these streets, you know what I'm saying? But now, you know, other dudes is out here complimenting your woman, so it's like the acknowledgement that she's looking fine. It's like, you know, that every other dude is doing that, so you kind of like, you know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be the one that's not gonna say it, you know what I'm saying? So she gonna yearn for me to say, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so counterproductive, you know what I'm saying? It's been plenty of times where I've said, my woman, like, man, you was looking fine, and I feel some kind of way right now that you looking so good. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I know these other dudes finna be out here looking at you, and I don't like the fact they finna be out here looking at you because you were so good. Girl, you, hold on, let's before you go out, let's go in and let's take care of this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like on some stuff like that, because and again, that vulnerability is really taboo. Like, that's the whole pimp mentality. Like, a pimp, if you notice, like, what do pimps do? They break their woman down. You know what I'm saying? And purposely mentally break them down so that, you know what I'm saying, when they get one grain of, you know, compliment from the man, any little thing he does for her, you know what I'm saying, that's so she could be grateful for it, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to pouring into her so much, filling her cup up to what's running over. Then it's like, dang, like, I'm so filled up by him, like, it ain't no room for nobody else, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to, the cup's supposed to be filling over. So when the other compliments come in, it's like, oh, I'm already full. My man already, you know what I'm saying? It's already full. Like, ain't no room in this cup now. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. Now, I've been guilty of, like, you know, maybe, I know I've always been trying to be complimentary of my woman, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, sometimes, you know, you might go a little time without doing it, you know what I mean? Or whatever like that. And I've even heard sometimes, like, you know, some women still need to maybe hear a little validation outside the house. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember I had a situation with a past relationship. And, you know, I say, you know, I would say you're beautiful all the time, something like that. And some guy complimented her out, and she mentioned it. And I was like, you know, she was like, you know, I was feeling real down today, and I heard that, and it kind of made me feel better. I was like, well, I'll tell you, you're beautiful all the time. And she was like, well, you know, I get that, you know, and I know you do, but sometimes it's, you know, it's okay to feel, you know, hear from somebody else, because kind of like you know, you're supposed to say that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, I ain't really, I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? But I do it because I think as men, we need to get out of this pimp mentality and get it more to the lovers. Like, we need to go back to like 60s and 70s love. How they used to sing about love back then. Like, them brothers, man, let me tell you, like, you know, as corny as it is, man, them brothers used to sing about love. Like, you know, that dude loved it. The way he sang, like, all that passion in his voice. Man, when I tell you, like, you know, like that song Always and Forever, man, that song right there, like, you know, especially at the end, like, the brothers started getting in them notes. But I was like, man, I don't know, whoever that woman was, I know her pain was dripping after that, boy.
Yes. And I think in episode 10, we talked about people we found attractive. And my first was Billy D. Williams. You just walk in a room and you could smell that man. He smells so good. You know, I miss men smelling good. Like, you took a hot, fresh bath, and you might have loud cologne on. It's not even the cologne. It's just your body scent mixed with that cologne. masculine, you know, took pride in your image. Your teeth are clean, your teeth are fresh, your teeth are white, nice shoes on. You know, you speaking up, projecting your voice when you speak, direct eye contact, you know, nice sturdy handshake. Oh.
Yeah, all right, we're gonna get your towel.
And just the stature of a man, standing up
Yeah,
straight, a nice walk, you know.
Yeah. Keep going. What else? You all right? Feel bothered over there. Get stuff together. Yeah. Sit up. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, you know, the art of a man is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, why be half-assed when you guys have so much to work with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You back?
Yeah, I'm back. And to this day, I'm like, if my husband, my potential husband of today in the future is not that, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't want somebody telling my, hey, curls.
Yo, that's the line of the evening. Shout hey, curls. Hey. I think, and we talked about this a little bit with the last episode about, you know, the Cuddy Buddy stuff. You know, I think the physical part, you know, relationship. You could debate about relationships, or, you know, where they're going to be in a relationship and not, and do the physical thing, you know, and I have my position on that. But in a relationship, absolutely. Like, I think, again, needs to be, you know, somewhat ritualistic. Like, you shouldn't be going 2 and 3 weeks in a month without being with your other half. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially as a man, for a man, that's rough. That is rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I you know, in a good space, you know what I'm saying? I'm not no dude that, you know, at one point in my life, I was like, yeah, I want it every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know that can get, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, especially for a woman's body, if you especially if you're doing it right, you know, she need to recover. You know what I'm saying? She needs some recovery time if you're doing it right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, 2 or 3 times a week, man, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a good three times a week. I put like this, you shouldn't go 4 or 5 days without being with, unless you know that she's on her female stuff, and even then she need to be taking care of you. I still feel like, you know, you need to be doing what you need to do, and get that network right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You get that wet mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? So, you know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be, you know, at least for me, I think I would like 2 or 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? You know, or I say 2 to 4 times a week. Some weeks I might be twice. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I know things get happy, you get busy, stuff like that. If you got kids, things of that nature, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely don't think you should be going you know, week and a half, 2 weeks, and all that kind of stuff like that. Especially for men, it's hard for us because, like, the physical part for us, that we need that release. You know what I'm saying? Like, that literally, physiologically speaking, we need that type of release. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I think, and it's just as good for intimacy and things of that nature. And so, yeah, I definitely think that's important. And, you know, kind of too, and it's another point I want to make earlier, like, for me, kind of bridging all these things together, like, you know, I'm a student, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I like to study my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to study my little woman. And for me, it's like, I want to study her in all these different areas. Like, how do I do her, you know, how do I nourish her spiritually? What, you know, what ways can I engage with her spiritually? What ways can I engage with her mentally? What ways can I engage with her, you know, emotionally? And what ways do I please her physically? Like, I want to be the expert in your pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I want to have a PhD in, and I'm not gonna spell, you know what I'm saying, but you know what I want to spell.
Acronym.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I want a PhD in, you know, your P, you know, the other P, you know what I'm saying? So
Yoni.
yeah, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to rhyme a little bit, yeah, but yeah, you know, let's just go with the term, the Yoni. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a, you know, a doctorate in that. And so for me, you know, I love to just understand and learn that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be, you know, and I'm big on, you know, I think the orgasm is like the most amazing physiological thing that we have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the only thing outside. It's the one thing that we have within us that's so euphoric that we don't have to go outside of ourselves to get. Like, you ain't got to smoke no weed or drink no drink or take no pills and everything to get this high. You can do this between two people without anything else, and y'all can make each other, bring y'all to this ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you know, I know we talked about if the yoni was a universe, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if the Big Bang was an orgasm. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Big Bang is like, boom, you know what I'm saying? Just like the universe just exploded because, you know what I'm saying, this thing just, boom, you know what I mean? But yeah, but all seriousness though, yeah, like, you know, definitely the physical is so important. And again, going back to like the seduction for the woman, you know, and I know for me, like, I try to, like, that's one of the things, reason why I'm really big on like maintaining my physical, you know, like I work out a lot, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, you know, I try to eat pretty good, but I sometimes, you know, I can eat you know, all kind of stuff. I'm a sweets fanatic too. Like, I eat all kind of sweets, you know what I'm saying? But you know, but I work out a lot, you know what I'm saying? I try to maintain a nice body, you know what I'm saying? Cause I want my woman to want me. I want her to desire me. Right. You know, when I take my clothes, she's like, man, you know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
you know, and so, and another thing, and this is funny because I was talking about this today. Like, honestly, I kind of also like a woman with like just a sprinkle of crazy for me. Like, not like misery, but like, you know, so like just a sprinkle, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, well, you might say something like, you know, you better not never get that go away because that's mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come out, you know, you better not, you know, so like, you know, you parking the door, you better, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just a little bit, like I said, just not a whole, like, I don't want that much crazy. I want just a sprinkle of crazy for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, to where it's like, you know, that's how much you want me. You know, that's how much you love me and want me and desire me. It's like, it's a little sprinkle of crazy. I had a past relationship where the woman told me, like, she's like, you know, if we ever, you know, if we ever not together no more, you have to keep your phallus. Let's use that word, phallus. That's mine. I'm gonna keep that with me. You know, part of me was like, what? You know what I'm saying? But the other part was like, yeah, that's how, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's you okay.
Crazy though, right? Was she?
No, she wasn't. She wasn't at all. She was just saying that, like,
the woman you see on Snap.
Yeah, no, not in the real sense. That's what I'm saying. Like that's like, you know what I'm saying? Just the sprinkle is like, okay, you're basically telling me, like, you know, we had just finished making love and she said, you know, like, look, you better not never get this away. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, you know, I'm gonna keep that with me. You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't no other woman finna get that. Like, that's like, okay, like, it's a little bit of crazy, you know, because I'm a little bit of crazy too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I
need to hear that. That's reassurance too.
Yeah.
Like, we had this lock and key.
Yeah.
Like, and you need that. I don't want anybody coming to me and telling me, oh yeah, you look all right. Oh, that's cute. Compared to what? Like, what are we doing? You know,
puppies are cute. I'm more than cute. Puppies are cute. I'm more than that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand that lingo. Okay, bye. Yeah, I think, you know, going on the sexual tip, I think I have to agree with you. It's very important. I don't really have a number for it because I feel like intimacy is shared in so many different ways.
Absolutely.
So, as explorative as I am,
okay,
go watch episode 2.
Explore.
I talked about.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, the apron. Yeah, aprons. Yeah, I remember aprons are carrying on and kitchens, and aprons and things. I get you.
Right. Jalon with the chandeliers. You know.
Chandelier. And Jamal with the gumbo. Jamal with the gumbos and toes. You know what I'm saying?
I totally, literally, like, I think intimacy happens in so many unique ways.
Absolutely.
And it's not even at home, you know? You might just be out and about taking a walk and it's night and it's like, see that bench over there? Well, guess where we're going, you know? I also feel every couple needs a vacation at least once every 90 days.
Absolutely.
Not have to be anything major, but if you just took a 500-mile trip and just got away for a minute,
or just go to hotels or something, right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, something. Yeah, I feel you on that.
That is so important. And
absolutely.
That is a must. You need that change of scenery. Me and my partner, we used to literally, you naturally, okay, so the headboard's here and you lay straight. You lay in the same position every night. We would invert ourselves and sleep from the bottom up. Like, let's just change the sheets and let's sleep down here tonight and beat that way. You know, you just have to come up with these ways to make it spicy.
Absolutely.
And it even changed the sex. Like, it's just amazing how that happens.
Okay.
Going into 2022, I'm stating my resolutions early. That's what this woman right here, that's what she wants.
All right. Let's make it happen. Gonna make it happen. Universe gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, like for me, like we were talking about like the seductive part, you know, of the spicy things. Like I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the erotic literature series that I had wrote? This was years ago now. I don't know if you remember that or not. I was on Facebook. I basically wrote all this, like it's a bunch of erotic literature that I wrote, you know what I'm saying, in short stories and stuff like that. I love like storytelling, and you know, maybe it might be role play, or maybe just us reading something together that just get it right, or even better, writing something together. Like we, you know, I take the man's part, you take the woman's part. We just write some shit, and then we act it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because I love to write and everything, and I just love storytelling, I love creativity. So, you know, that's one thing I'm into. You know what I mean? And like I said, like you said, when you go over that 90-day excursion, you know what I'm saying? We both you have what you have some new whoop-de-whoop, you know what I'm saying, to put on or whatever. You let me know what you want or whatever. I put some whoop-de-whoop on and we whatever, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So those types of things. So yeah, these are all, I think, on the physical side. Because when I feel like when the spiritual part is right, when the mental part is right, when the emotional part is right, you know, that kind of facilitates the physical part as well. And sometimes vice versa. Sometimes the physical part can facilitate some of the others as well. But I think typically that, you know, kind of falls in that order. And I don't think one is more important than the other, but I think there is a kind of a sequence to it. You know what I'm saying? It's a sequence from the spiritual, starting with the spiritual, then going to the mental, then going to the emotional, then going to the physical. And again, they can kind of go back and forth with terms of like, you know, informing and invigorating one another. But yeah, that physical part is very important, especially for a man. And, you know, I know we talked about the peace part and everything like that. If a woman is sexing you right and she's your peace, it's hard to walk away from that. And I know it's been plenty of memes I've seen like that. Well, you could be doing all that and the man still cheat on you. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I get that. But if you're doing all those things, and if a man is right and you're doing all those things, you're going to have a much healthier relationship than if you're not doing those things. Because a man can also be a good dude and you're not doing those things, he can stay. And y'all can just be not be happy. You know what I'm saying? So if you're doing those things, I put like this: a man possibly cheating on you should not be a excuse for you not to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not doing them in a healthy relationship, you're not going to have the quality relationship that you could have. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, you know, being the peace in that physical part, man, is so important. And you know, I am a big advocate for, you know, like you said, like PDA, I'm for that. You know, it didn't have to be like, you know, a lot of stuff like text messages. You might send me some like, you know, hey, look, you know, I know I had a former, you know, lover that said, you know, I put a picture out on Facebook and she was like, "Oh, you finna slide up in this tonight." I was like, "Oh yeah, let me put my cleats on. I'm gonna put my baseball pants on. I'm gonna slide up. I'm finna go slide up in that thing." And you know what I'm saying? Like, tell you something. I was like, I was like doing my push. I was getting ready. I was saying my smart water, get my electrolytes up. I was ready. I got home and it was a wrap. So, but yeah, so just stuff like that, like you said, intimacy and seduction. It's not one dimensional. It's not, you know, it can be throughout the day. It can be in so many different mediums. You know what I'm saying? It could be a touch. It could be a look. You get so focused. You might have that, you know, that look, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like,
yeah.
You know, you know what it is now, you know.
You are last week we posted something amazing on Purple Mic. Gentleman talking about listening to your mate when they tell you what they want. And listening to this guy, he was like, when your man tells you, listen, works both ways. Gentlemen, when your woman tells you that she likes the chokehold, is what he said. You got to do that. because she will go out and get little 24-year-old Junior to give it a chokehold and come back in the house like, my day was good, you know. I couldn't do that because I never felt affirmed. I never knew that. First of all, I wasn't turned on. It's like you got to light the pilot and ignite the flame in order. You know, I can't everything. This is a partnership. It just doesn't work with me turning you on. So the basis of what I'm saying is you really have to be in tune with what your partner wants.
Absolutely.
If your partner likes it a certain way, or they like that meal that you cook every Friday, you know, do the things that your partner wants. You stand less chance in losing or even dealing with any infidelity.
Absolutely.
Just hear your partner and do what they're asking of you.
Absolutely. And I think that's really important what you said. Like, and to your point about, you know, we're naming like some of our faults. Like I'm guilty of like maybe not, like you said, lighting the pilot too, expecting, you know, the fire to already be stoked without, you know what I'm saying, lighting it up a little bit myself, you know what I'm saying? And so I know in certain parts of the relationship, I have been really good at that. I mean, like master level at it. In some parts I've been like, you know what I'm saying, I'm still not even an undergrad, I'm still in middle school or something. So yes, I can definitely understand that, you know what I mean? And I could also see like, you know, where, you know, at a certain point, I think both ends, maybe, I don't know if it just gets stubborn, like both ends, like, you know what, you ain't gonna do what I want to do for you, you're not gonna do what I want you to do for me, so I'm not gonna do what you want for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it kind of gets to this combative, like that's when it becomes a war and fighting and combative and stuff like that. And that's when you have to, somebody has to be the bigger person and just, you know, just relinquish.
That's exactly where it went to. It went to that whole thing. And I'm like, you know what, I'm not doing this. And then the sex was off. We weren't having sex for weeks. And then, you know, it's just kind of like you start feeling like everything is an obligation. Just spinning our wheels at that point.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean about, you know, everything that you said tonight, just having that interaction with each other in that language without having to even spell it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it takes a lot of experience. Like you have to be patient. You have to be patient with it. It takes a lot of experience, and I'm getting that too. Like it takes patience to learn somebody on that level. You know what I'm saying? And I know I've been impatient with that. So I know I've been past relationships where I could have been more patient with, you know, the process of learning somebody in that level, because it takes a while to learn somebody like that. And I get that more now so than ever. You know what I mean? And so I definitely approaching my next relationship, I'm trying to be more understanding of that. But also too, it's like, you know, I guess I need somebody to be a fast learner too. Like, you know what I'm saying? It can't be like you taking forever for you to figure this thing out either. You know what I mean? So it's got to be a balance in that, you know, because again, man, it doesn't take, I don't feel like it takes much. Like it may just be like, you know, baby, let's just dance. Like we just turn some music on. I just grab your hand. Let's just dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know, I love to dance and everything. And it's been times where I just want to let's get some rhythm. Let's get something, you know what I'm saying? Some touch, some physicality, everything like that. So yeah, it doesn't take a lot, you know, at least from my perspective, it doesn't, but I know, again, not everybody's me. And, you know, again, it is a learning curve, but just having that, you know, understanding of expectation and learning each other again, cause like, you know, our biggest projects, you know, in terms of intercommunication and in a relationship should be our mates, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a project, and it's something that you should go at with, you know, a desire and yearning. Because I mean, it's nothing more like, again, I'm gonna say this again, like a woman that desires you, like for real. And I'm not talking about, like, I know, you know, a lot of times, and this is on the other end of the spectrum where we talked about men's vulnerability and, you know, not want to be vulnerable, and the ego thing. I think sometimes with women that happens too, like they don't want to show like that they want the man to, you know, women are a lot better with this, you know what I'm saying, in general. But sometimes that's the thing too. Like women don't want to show that they desire their man because, you know, it might be a little ego with that, or, you know, whatever, maybe punishing him for whatever, you know, whatever. But, you know, having that genuine yearning and desire, and we feel it as men. We know when a woman wants us. It's funny. I was just talking to my cousin about this the other day. Like, it's nothing for me. Like, one of the biggest ego strokes for me, it's a certain way a woman smiles at you or looks at you when, like, if you know, and this is like a woman that don't know you, like when you first meet somebody and you can hear in her head say, oh, he fine. It's a certain way y'all look at us, a smile. like that happened to me the other day in this group. I was getting my food. She was like, "Oh, here you go," and she gave me that smile. I was like, it just like just lifted me up. Cause I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I still got it. You know what I'm saying? I popped my collar a little bit. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? I bonds on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and so.
And see, that in itself, that's how you want to feel at home. How you just describe
absolutely.
That's how you want to feel at home.
Absolutely.
And
when
if
I
you
come home
out in the streets, that's terrible. And you're not getting that at home. That's the worst thing for a woman. Because it's just like flatline at that point.
Absolutely. And as a man, like, you know, like one thing I hate is, you know, I won't say hate, but one thing that's troubling is, like, to your point, getting adoration out in the streets and not at the house. You know what I'm saying? It don't even have to be like necessarily like a sexual thing. Like, even like, you know, it might be times where a man, I've heard men describe this, you know, things like this, where, you know, you might be looking nice or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying? And you get all these compliments out in the streets, and then you come home and then, like, you know, the woman or and the kids or whatever just kind of like, oh, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, like, it doesn't mean as much, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, that's cool. And it's, I mean, we all get flattered, right? You know what I'm saying? It's flattering, you know what I'm saying? It's a little ego boost, but it's only like 10%. But when your woman says it, or when your family, when you come home and it's like, oh, you know, daddy's home or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something else. It's a totally different fulfillment.
It hits harder. It hits way harder.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess the summation is just really about reciprocity. And if you really love a person and you're not seeking, you know, gain, like thousands of people today, you know, you're really in it for true love, then you make it known, like, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want. And I think that communication even is lost, you know, and sitting down, just really honing in and letting a person know, like, you know what, the other night when you helped me with those dishes, and then we went upstairs and boom, boom, like all that we, keep
boom,
that.
Boom room.
That. We need to do more of that.
That part.
That part. All that. So that's how you come up with the blueprint, you know, and learning, you know, who your spouse is, what they want, even if it's just your check, you know, whatever you do. So happy we had this conversation tonight, Ben. It was intimate. It was amazing. Talking to you, man. I mean, we dive deep. We go to ocean floor levels, like all the way. And I appreciate you and your time so much.
Absolutely. You know, I got you always. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. If you guys have not already followed us at The Purple Mic, please head on over. I'm your host, Erica Nichole Mason, again, joined by Ben Moore. Dr. Ben Moore, thank you so much for this intimate discussion. Love you.
Always. Okay. You know, I got you.
Thank you. Good night.